What up, nerds? Wait, I have to move this book. There, Chance. Are you happy now? I've moved the book that creeps you out. What up, nerds? Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and on this channel, I like to talk about all sorts of fun, bookish related things in these science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres. Today I'm bringing you my weekly reading update, which for any of you who might be new, that is where I talk about all the things that I read last week, my current thoughts on those things, and then what I plan to read this week. First up, I always like to start with manga. So yesterday's video, if you missed it, Una from the Codex Cantina and I outlined our reading plan for Introduction to Manga, which will include the different types of manga, and we're going to experiment with different mangas in each of the categories. We've already got a bit of a head start on that project because as of today, we've already completed reading the first 61 volumes of One Piece, which in my very limited experience of manga is my most favorite manga ever. Even though this week, it has really hurt me deep. I experienced a lot of sad moments reading this week. There was a character who I elevated in status on my ranking and he's gone. So combined with losing Ace, it's also constantly in the back of my mind that we're nearing the 70th volume, which is where we're gonna stop reading One Piece and move on to our next type of manga. I'm very sad to leave my friends behind, and so let's just not talk about it anymore. So moving into books. The first book I'm going to mention is An Easy Death by Charlaine Harris, which is the first book in a series by her. I think there's currently 3 books out, which I'm gonna have to invest in those other 2 quick, fast, and in a hurry. This was a wonderful book. I enjoyed it. It was very fast paced. It's an urban fantasy. It was a little bit different than the others I've read, and I really just enjoyed that. So much so that I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the other 2 and squeezing them in between some of my other reads, because I know some of my upcoming reads are going to be more of the same of what I've been reading. I just like some elements this one brought to the table as far as kind of cleansing the palate from my usual suspects. Julie from The Hungry Bookworm really knocked it out of the park when she recommended this one to me. Next up, I got a little sideways on my TBR and I swapped Mexican Gothic for Nightmare by Chad Nicholas because I've seen so many people talking about this book. I just couldn't stay off the hype train any longer, so I hopped on, and wow, this book took me for a ride. It was so good. I enjoyed it so much. I read it in 2 sittings. Once I started it, I did not want to put it down. I loved the direction of the story. I especially loved the characters. You know, being that it's a thriller horror type book, I really can't tell you anything about it that wouldn't be considered spoilery. So I'm just gonna encourage you to pick this one up and come talk to me about it. I need to talk to somebody about someone in this book, and it needs to happen soon, okay? Just please, somebody help me. I need a book therapy session. I need somebody to read it. I did post a non-spoiler review on the channel last week for Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. I'll put that up in the cards and down in the description box below if you haven't checked it out but you are interested in more. I really don't even want to talk about this book because I am still so upset over what I've read. Battleground by Jim Butcher came out last Tuesday, and I 100% had intended on sitting down and binging it. It was too much for me. I guess I'm just tender-hearted, but there was a particular thing that happened, and I just haven't been able to continue on. It's stupid. It's not that I didn't expect it to happen. I absolutely called that this particular thing was going to happen. I expected it. What I didn't expect was the shitty way Butcher did it. I'm very upset over it. I am very angry over it. I feel very disrespected I'm also disappointed in the book as a whole. Where I'm at in the book at this point, I think the publisher made a terrible decision to split Peace Talk and Battleground into 2 books. It should have been 1. There was a whole bunch of wasted information put in Peace Talks that could have been removed. The first 200 pages of this book could have easily been condensed. It could have remained one little bit longer book than normal and been fine. But that's just one of the huge problems I have. So I don't know when I will get to finish this, because every time I pick it up, I just can't get over that one thing. So, you know, I'll get there when I get there. So that's everything I read or am reading. Let's talk about what's next. I'm definitely going to crack into the Arcanum Unbounded and read Edgedancer, which is a novella that is highly recommended you read before digging into Oathbringer, which is the 3rd installment in the Stormlight archives that I am currently reading with the Storm Along 2020 group. Words of Radiance was such a fun ride. I hope the momentum carries over into Oathbringer. I'm really looking forward into starting, because I hear Oathbringer is Daddy Dalinar's book and I'm ready. And then next off my Spooktober TBR is Monstre by Duncan Swan. I've been seeing really good things said about this one, so I'm really excited to delve into it and see what I think for myself. All I can remember about it is that it's a post-apocalyptic horror, which seems to be my thing these days, so I am all about it. And that's gonna wrap up this weekly reading update. Now that you've heard about what I've read, am reading, and gonna read, I need you to tell me in the comments what you're working on. But on your way down to those comments, if you enjoy what I'm doing here on The Nerdy Narrative, I would love it if you would please consider subscribing to the channel. Please check the description box down below for a link to my Discord. Come join in on the fun conversations we have going on over there. I remain convinced there is absolutely nothing better than a bunch of readers in one place talking books. Have a fantastic rest of your day and a wonderful week, and I will see you soon.